Hello everyone, how are we doing? Good? I hope so. Join the Discord. Yes, join the Discord please. If you do have suggestions, you can make them there. You can DM me on Discord. Well, since I'm in the Discord server, you can find my, my personal Discord, account. That I forgot what it was called for a second. So yeah, you can find the Discord account or just go into the suggestions tab on my Discord server and do stuff there. If you want to upload just art in general or even fan art, there's also channels for that. There's gaming and there's gaming and all sorts of otherness. So join and suggest stuff, you know what I mean? I think it's better to suggest it there than it is to suggest it on, like, I don't know, the YouTube comment section. You kind of get drowned out. There's a lot of comments. I don't really read comments after, like, the first couple days as well. So if you're watching a video a couple days later, the best place to do it is the Discord. Unless I have perished. If I've perished, I will never see your message. But 9 times out of 10, I'm still alive. But we're looking at this fan art, and cool, buddy, I seen your other art, and I can tell you didn't put as much effort into this one as you did your other art, so I want you to rectify that issue, you little prick, right this second. Now, I'm joking. Thank you for the art, bud. Oh, where's the other ones? There we go. YouTube, this is censored. Of course, don't take this down, bruh. I don't know if Kage's showing all the hickeys he's got down there. That may be a little accurate, that maybe not. Fuck. Hey, we got the goat. Yuta is back. They aren't. This is like the first art and the last art they're ever doing, bruh. But it's still very good. We love Yuta. We love Yuta. But today I bring to you Alien Stage. Now, this was suggested by someone, and I'll play one of their clips first. So, here we have a Luca Mizzi ship from Scarlet something. You know what I mean? Hey, you should always give credit to the original creator. It's Luca and Mizzi. So, why is Luca and Mizzi a bad ship? Well, we can instantly look at these. This says omnisexual. I don't know if that's true, but I do know that Mizzi is lesbian. And well, they themselves put it here. In Alien Stage, Mizzi is canonically lesbian. She has exclusively shown romantic and sexual attraction to women, specifically Sua, and has expressed strong disgust at the idea of romantic relationships with men. While some fans debate her exact label or ship her with male characters, the series creator, Vivinos, and official story materials heavily emphasizes her and what the hell? I just literally couldn't breathe there. Heavily emphasize her identity as a sapphic lesbian character. I don't know what the fuck sapphic means. I'm guessing that means exclusive, maybe. And, well, Luca and Mizzi are a dark ship. Yes, is Mizzi Luca a dark ship? Ernst. Yes, the Mizzi and Luca pairing from Alien Stage is widely considered a dark ship. The classification of Mizzi, in fact, I'll go over that myself because I did decide to, obviously check if they were, I decided to check if, Mizzi and Luca is a dark ship myself, and I did. Luca starts pressuring Mizzi mentally through various affectionate, flirtatious gestures and with the song lyrics. He does this to imitate Sua, Mizzi's deceased lover, as a way to torment her so that he could win the round and advance to the next one. This ends up in Mizzi being very distressed, even hallucinating Sua in his place and having visions of Sua's dead body during round 1. And this continues up until she snaps and starts attacking her opponent. So, he literally manipulates her, he gets in her psyche and all sorts of weirdness and whatnot. So, obviously, it's not a very good pairing to have. It is a dark ship, which as well, I think is really weird. You look at two characters who interact in an awfully negative way, in the way we literally read from the wiki and, from the fan. It's a very negative relationship between these two. She's a lesbian and shown, disgust at male romantic attention and whatnot, as it said. And well, Luca did that to manipulate and torment her, like, for then people to go online and start doing these dark ships, sort of romanticizing that. Because I've seen a lot of like Maisie Luca pairings, and they're not like toxic or anything. It's using the most cutest images. You would never know these characters interact in such an awful and negative way, because it's never really obvious. They make it seem like this is an okay thing, you know what I mean? Now, obviously, they're probably not meaning to, but that's what it kind of looks like, especially from the eyes of an outsider. Someone said something like, oh, this guy just chooses to ignore the good part of the fandom. No, I don't. You know, the fan that sent me this recommendation, they're an Alien Stage fan, I believe, since, you know, they decided to recommend it to me. I interact with the good side of the fandoms. I know there's a good side of every fandom. That's not really why I'm here. You know there's a good side of the fandom. Why are you watching my video as if I'm trying to portray the entire fandom as the worst thing that's ever existed? It's stupid. Come on. Yes, the title is awfully vague, but every title is awfully vague, unless it's not. Sorry about that. I'm just doing putting the title as what I think will get the most traction. Sorry, dude. I don't genuinely believe that the entire fandom is shipping Maisie and Luca. No, there are people like, you know, my pal over there in the Discord server told me that, no, this is a dark ship, you know what I mean? So there are normal people, and I know that, obviously. But there's really one thing that pets my peeve. Okay, guys, now I need Sewer X here content. So, who is Sewer and here? Boop. So, I have it up, but let's watch. Oh, if you couldn't hear the song, it was I Will Keep You My Dirty Little Secret. We can obviously see that there is an adult and a child in this, and it says, okay guys, now I need Sewer X here. Someone said, just a suggestion, use and, because the X is generally used for romantic ships. And now I also thought at first, oh, maybe they did just mean to use and. I need Sewer and here content. But if we look over at the description, it says safe space. Safe space for what? Pairing with the song, it seems like they're trying to ship a child, X, and adult. And not only that, they are sisters. So here it says Sewer is age 23. I'm sorry, but looking at this, that looks like a kid. That looks like a kid. I think they're using like the old past version. Now that maybe there is like an older version, but that also looks like a kid. That also looks like a kid. That also looks like a very young girl. Maybe the same one there though. You know, I don't know. But you know what I mean? From first glance, it does look like this person is shipping a child with an adult. You know what I mean? But of course, as I was saying, they are sisters, relatives. Here, older sister. I need more Sewer X here. This is Sewer. This is here. I thought maybe it's just a typo. Nope. Or maybe not a typo. Maybe they just accidentally messed it up. Nope. So I went to Sewer's page and looked it up, and it says relatives, Sewer, younger sister. So they are doing an incest ship. So they're doing a dark ship in terms of, well, I'm going to go from what I see, and it looks like they are shipping a child and an X and adult. You can, like, dude, Nini, if you're watching this video, bro, please prove me wrong. Tell me that you just meant to put and, because, you know, I don't want to believe that, you know, you are there asking for child X adult content in terms of like a romantic or even sexual meaning. Again, it says safe space. So a safe space for what? Usually you see safe space attached to dark shipping or pro shipping like descriptions. When I read descriptions, a lot of the safe space stuff comes from the dark shippers. So like it has all the telltale signs of a dark ship. The song I'll Keep You My Dirty Little Secret, it's seeming impure, you know what I mean? It's seeming very what's that word? Evil. Not evil. Evil's a very hard word. Oh, shit, I'm back. Sorry, I had a little bit of a whoops-a-daisy there. But it seems a little bit more nefarious, you know what I mean? Like, there's a different hidden agenda that's much darker than what is originally being seen, because again, it doesn't say dark ship anywhere, so I can't necessarily definitively say it's a dark ship. It just all points to, and it all kind of comes to this idea of it being a dark ship. You know what I mean? It is a dark ship in terms of incest, an incest ship, but it seems a lot more devious, if you could use that as a word in this specific context. But that's all the clips I had for today. I'm going to move on to DeviantArt. I'll probably only look at one of these, but, well, we'll see. We have inflation, my favorite. Now, I did look up the age rating for Alien Stage. What is the age rating for ALNST? Alien Stage, often shortened as ALNST, does not have an official globally standardized MPAA or PEGI rating because it is an independent animated YouTube series. However, on platforms like IMDb, its users guide suggests a 16 plus due to mature themes. So it's a 16 plus thing for a more mature audience. I don't think that means you should still make fetish content of it and whatnot and upload that on the internet, or not even the internet, just like DeviantArt. I always have a problem with things being on DeviantArt. Now, while this is not like, this person isn't disgusting or weird, like I'll probably label this video, because, well, the ships we've just seen and whatnot, they're very disgusting. I don't think this person's disgusting. They're just making art for a show they like. It's just me personally. I don't understand how you can, and I've said this many times, but obviously I'll keep saying it again and again. I don't understand why people kind of watch a show or like characters, and the instant the first thing or something they do or eventually come up to do is make sexual fetish art of that character and then put that on platforms like DeviantArt, TikTok, or YouTube, where there's a strong presence of young people. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily understand how you can come to that conclusion. Oh, I like JoJo so much as my favorite anime, so let's draw Polnareff licking JoJo's nipple and upload that on TikTok. I don't understand that. Like, how can you come to that conclusion? I don't understand. I feel like sexualizing characters and whatnot, and sexualizing, or like the fetishizing of characters has become a lot more acceptable. But, like, why exactly? What for? Obviously, this is just supposed to be, or at least in my opinion, it's supposed to be for sexual gratification. Their entire channel is about inflation, but just because it's been normalized, just because no one speaks up against it or whatnot, is it really, should we allow that? Is that something we should allow people to go on platforms for, or advertise to being safe for young people, and for them to just upload their own little fetish art or sexual art? Is that something we should allow? Like where do we draw the line? Because if we don't allow this now, or we don't speak about this now, then what happens in the future when more sites and stuff like this come out and they're just even less regulated than this? You know what I mean? The DeviantArt boasts, an acceptable 13 plus, but you can see content like this so awfully easy. Is that really the rating we should be giving this? I'm not saying the artist should start making art. I'm more speaking of maybe DeviantArt should, change their rating, or change the way, being verified to see this sort of stuff actually happens. Of course, no hate to the artist as always. Doodle, stretch, dang, doodle art, doodles, doodle drawing, doodles, doodle stretch, dump, nothing, sketch doodle, sketch doodle, sketch drawing, sketch dump, sketches, sketching, I don't know what to put, help. Fat Measy AU, where Measy gets fat and Alien Stage gets practically cancelled because she needs to lose some more weight but Measy refuses to do so, and Alien Stage got cancelled so Alien Stage got cancelled and everyone is free. Yay. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this, I guess. Fair enough. Again, I also just, don't understand necessarily fat fetishes. I don't hate on them or whatnot. If you have a fetish of this sort of aligningness, fair enough, fair play to you. I personally don't understand it, but that's not necessarily what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? It's just a little bit weird. I think DeviantArt, and of course the creators as well, or the creators should always understand where they are. And again, context does matter. If they were to do this in a stylistic way, do their own story. Why do you think I don't look at like fanfics or whatnot? Because, well, fanfics are awfully weird and whatnot, but there's a story, there's a reason for why something happens. There's no reason for this. This is just, oh, I like inflation, so I like inflation and I like this character, so I want to get off to this character with my fetish. Or, of course, I mean, in the past, we used to look at videos and people used to put their own little disabilities on characters and whatnot. Like, say, I was a paraplegic and I was in a wheelchair. I draw Jojo now in a wheelchair because I like Jojo and, you know, I feel like he's a good character to relate and align to, you know what I mean? So that could also be the case here as well. Maybe they're overweight, and so to feel a little bit more validated in them being overweight, they drew these characters as fat. So, you know, their favorite characters they believe they can align with, good characters in their hearts. You know, everyone wants to be able to align to a good character, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? There's also just a lot of interpretations, like infinite interpretations. Obviously, that goes for me because I actually think about stuff. I think there is a problem with uploading this stuff or stuff on the internet as well as, like, in general on these specific platforms, because people don't think nowadays. They don't look at it and form an opinion. They just look at it, they'll click the like button, and if their weenie gets hard or their vagina gets wet, they'll go down and do a little bit of DJ action down there, start rubbing that bitch up and down, you know what I mean? Like, people don't think nowadays. So, like, they don't think and they don't understand that they're getting desensitized to these ideas, that their characters can and maybe should be sexualized, especially with the way it's so normalized. Maybe people are looking at this sort of art and going, huh, maybe this is sort of the natural progression. Of course, that would probably go for young people, but don't forget, adults are awfully influential too. If an adult sees a lot of this, when they have a child or any kids in their life, they may see this as not necessarily a weird thing, because this is what they saw from when they were younger and it's just so normalized. Maybe they'll end up growing up, maybe they'll end up raising children that think this is okay and this is normal to consume at such a young age, you know what I mean? There are just infinite different possibilities. I don't believe this art is a bad artist. If you want my true opinion, I like the art, but shh. You didn't hear that from me, though. You didn't hear that from me. Don't forget, people, always have fun. While I do take a look at these topics and whatnot, remember, always have fun. This is just content at the end of the day, and it's just my opinion. If you have a different opinion, I totally respect it, and you should drop it in the comment section below. Come on, people. This is supposed to be a conversation, not just listen to Kage and agree or disagree blindly with what he has to say. Let's have a conversation. People, let's do this. Anyway, I respect you all. I respect the artists. I wish nothing but the best for these people in their lives going forward. I hope they're prosperous. I hope you're prosperous. Everybody take care. Anya, say with me now. Anya, see you later on. Yeah, say ho. Wink, 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 wink.